lunchtime news on TV1 for the news first where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon. SLFP suspends the membership of Dayasiri Jayasekara. Sarath Ekanayaka appointed as acting General Secretary. Tensions flare in Parliament.
සියට නම්ේ මම තේරුවේ නෑ මං අගමැති වෙන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේ සභාවේ මෙන්න SLPP ආණ්ඩුවේ පොහොට්ටුවේ ආණ්ඩුවෙන් තීරණය කළා. අන්න තීරණය කරපුවා ඔතනත් ඉන්නවා. මෙතනත් ඉන්නවා. ඒ නිසා මට ඒක කියන්න එපා.
දේශීය ණය ප්‍රතිව්‍යුහගත කිරීමේ සම්පූර්ණ බර මේ රටේ ලක්ෂ 24ක් වූ වැඩ කරන ජනතාවගේ කරපිට හිස මත පටවපු පළවෙනි රට බවට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Debate on the no confidence motion against Health Minister begins.
ගෙන්වීමේ ක්‍රියාවලිය නිවැරදි ලෙස නියාමනය කිරීම සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍යවරයා පැහැරහැර ඇතියින්ද වත්මන් සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය කෙහෙලිය රඹුක්වැල්ල මැතිතුමා කෙරෙහි විශ්වාසය තැබිය නොහැකි බව මෙම පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට යෝජනා සම්මත කර සිටියි.
Heavy rains to batter the southwest of Sri Lanka. Super 4 round of the 2023 Asia Cup to begin in Pakistan's Lahore. On to those stories in detail. Issuing a weather advisory, the Met Department notes showers or thunder showers will occur at times in western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts. Its advisory also notes fairly strong winds above 40 to 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in western slopes of the Central Hills, northwestern, northern and north central provinces and in Trincomalee and Hambantota districts.
Two sluice gates of the Kukulegaka reservoir still remains open, releasing 120 cubic feet of water per second to the Kudaganga. Due to the overflowing of the Kudaganga, low lines in Paragoda, Dambala, Naliyadda, Atabegas Junction are inundated. Vehicular movement along the Atabegas Junction in Dambala along the Bulat Sinhala Molkava Road and Naliyadda were hampered as the areas were inundated. Many rice fields in Akurasa and Athurelia were inundated due to the overflowing of the Nilwala River. News First correspondents noted around 500 acres of rice fields that were nearing the harvest were being destroyed by flood waters. News First correspondents noted that the Hambantota continues to receive rainfall. The fishing community is advised by the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre and Navy to refrain from setting to sea. Meanwhile, the landslide warnings issued to Ratnapura, Kalutara, Kegalle, Galle and Kandy districts due to the inclement weather conditions were extended.
Multiple areas across Sri Lanka continue to experience a dry spell, despite other areas being battered by torrential downpour.
This is the Mahaveli village in Asalapura, located within the Valikara Divisional Secretariat in the Polonnaru district. The people in this village are still affected due to the arid weather conditions. The main issues faced by these villagers is the lack of access to clean drinking water, as almost all the wells in the village have dried up. News First correspondents said that around 600 families in the village have been inconvenienced. People from the Serukkan village within the Karachi Divisional Secretariat in Kilinotri are severely affected due to the arid weather conditions. People from the Kayankuda village under the Eravurpati division in the Chenkaladi Divisional Secretariat in Batiklo are suffering the same fate due to the arid weather conditions. The public wells where the villagers obtain water usually have also dried up. The villagers say the water distributed by Chenkaladi Pradesh Sabha once a week is insufficient.
The party membership of Sri Lanka Freedom Party General Secretary MP Dayasiri Jayasekara was suspended. MP Dayasiri Jayasekara said he was informed of the suspension in writing by SLFP chairman Maithripala Sirisena. Former Chief Minister Sarathe Kanayaka said he was appointed as the Acting General Secretary of the SLFP, replacing Dayasiri Jayasekara. In news from Parliament, the debate on the no-confidence motion against Health Minister Keheliya Rambukwella commenced in Parliament. According to Asela Gunawardena, there are no substandard medicines in the country. We would like to remind him that in Indonesia and Gambia, around 300 children above the age of 5 died after a medicine contaminated. Honourable Speaker, who will take the responsibility if such drug was imported and if our children die?
නමුත් අද මම හිතනවා මේ දෝෂාභියෝගය කවුරු ගෙනාවත් කොයි විදිහට මේ සභාවට ඉදිරිපත් කළත් මේ දෝෂාභියෝග ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නේ පුද්ගලයෙකුට එරෙහිවට වඩා නැවත ක්‍රමවේදයක් අලුත් කරගන්න අපේක්ෂාවෙන් සද්භාවයෙන් ඒ ක්‍රමවේදයක් නිවැරදි කර ගැනීමේ අරමුණින් කියලා.
Dr. Chamila Sandriva, the chairperson of the Medical and Civil Rights Professional Association, visited the office of the director of the Hambantota District Health Services on Tuesday the 5th. This was regarding the inquiry that was launched over a statement that he made over the malnutrition levels of the children in the Hambantota district.
The
health sector in the country has collapsed. A huge sum of money is lost owing to questionable procurement processes. Loss of life, disabilities and complications have arisen owing to the importation of substandard medicines to Sri Lanka. Even the Vietmaga who attempted to bring this Keheliya Rambukwella's generation to power have had to hold press conference and speak against the system. The group gathering against the system is getting stronger. Our opinion about the no-confidence motion is that whether it is approved or not, the important thing is the public victory. If Keheliya survives the no-confidence motion, it will be a loss for the government and the system. In the past, when there is a vote of no confidence, the minister steps back and resigns to protect his party, his government and his president. That will not happen this time. This shows the large extent the current politicians greed for power.
කොයිතරම් දුරකට වර්තමාන දේශපාලකයන් බලය සඳහා තියෙන කෑදරකම ගිජුකම ඉතාමත් හොඳින් සංකේතවත් වෙනවා.
News first with the people.
The Samagi Joint Trade Union Alliance notes that the government has paved the way for the petroleum companies to gain undue profits. They increased the price by 6%, aiming at generating profits based on the Sinopec formula. This is not only the commission. In fact, the government paved the way for IOC and Sinopec to generate profits in this manner by further making the situation worse for the people. In order to clear Sinopec stocks, the QR method should be removed. They had to remove the QR code in order to gain instant realization of these commissions.
The National Freedom Front, convening a media briefing, expressed the following views on the profits generated by the Sinopec and Lanka IOC.
Lanka IOC had brought fuel worth billions of rupees and have stored them. Sinopec had brought and stored fuel worth millions of dollars. With this overnight decision, the Lanka Indian Oil Company and Sinopec made millions and billions of profits. When they take this money and these profits abroad in dollars, won't the foreign exchange be affected? The economic experts who claim to have managed this economy, like Bandula Gunawardena, are managing the economy by taking the decision which cost millions of dollars to the country in one day. We can see that this is not economic management. This is destroying the economy. The central bank that implements useless economic policies, the Ministry of Finance without any plan, and the cabinet without any plan cannot run this country. They have already proven that. The ministers in the cabinet are against each other. Decisions made in the morning are changed by afternoon. Decisions made in the evening are changed by morning. The Minister of Electricity changes the decision taken by the Minister of Agriculture. The Minister of Agriculture does not agree with the decisions of the Minister of Electricity. Can you run a country in this manner? We have to declare that this has become a cabinet of fools. Leader of the Sri Lanka Mahajana Party, Asanka Navaratna, dismissed reports that the claim that his party joined forces with the Samagi Jana Balavega.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහජන පක්ෂයට ලැබුණු ආරාධනාවක් අනුව විපක්ෂ නායක සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමා හමු වුණා.
The Sri Lanka Mahajana Party was extended an invitation and we met with the opposition leader Sajith Premadasa at the opposition leader's office. The meeting was based on the present political landscape, future political activities and then to reach to certain decisions. Following the meeting, we were informed that the media had reported that Asanka Navaratna from the Sri Lanka Mahajana Party had joined the SJB. We never held any discussion on joining with the SJB. The opposition leader said that he is attempting to bring all opposition political forces together to form an alliance and he extended an invitation for us to join. The decision of the Sri Lanka Mahajana Party are made by the Central Committee. So when an invitation is extended, it must be discussed by the Central Committee. We will inform our decisions on the invitation extended by the opposition leader in the future.
කටයුතු කරන්න අපි පක්ෂයේ විදියට අපි අපේ තීරණය ඉදිරියේදී දැනුම් දෙන්නම් කියන කාරණාව කියලා අපේ පැත්තේ රටේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න කතා කරලා අපි එතනින් එළියට ආවා.
A heated exchange led to the killing of a man at a house in Pascoda.
Crime Watch.
Sri Lanka police said that the victim was identified as a 39-year-old Sudat Prasanna from Panapitiya, Kahavatta. Police said that the killing was committed following a heated exchange over a love affair. 2 women and 2 men were arrested over the killing and the Rotumba police is conducting an investigation.
Crime Watch.
The second leg of the LOLC Devi Savia program continued centering the Anuradhapura district on Wednesday.
The LOLC Divisavia program is taking place to support the Sri Lankan student population, and the second leg of the program aims to provide school books and stationery free for 1 year for government schools with less than 100 students. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC group and the Ministry of Education. Accordingly, school books and stationery items were distributed to students from the Baptist Missionary Tamil School, Ihalakagama Vidyalaya, Ramadagala Vidyalaya, Pahalakanda Hindikama Vidyalaya, Hettiava Vidyalaya and Diyamaila Gaswava Vidyalaya. The LOLC Divisavia program will continue to support the future of the Sri Lankan student population.
Shifting your attention to international news. In view of the G20 summit scheduled to be held in the national capital on September 9th and 10th, the New Delhi Police Railway Unit along with the Railway Police Force patrolled the New Delhi railway station on Tuesday. They patrolled the train coaches and checked the bags as a security measure.
India is all set to host the G20 summit in New Delhi from the 9th to the 10th of September. World leaders will arrive in New Delhi to attend the G20 summit. The summit will be hosted at the state-of-the-art Bharat Mandapam Convention Centre in New Delhi. Meanwhile, the Delhi government on Tuesday issued a gazette notification on traffic restrictions imposed across the national capital in view of the upcoming G20 summit. According to the gazette notification, all types of goods vehicles, commercial vehicles, interstate buses and local city buses shall not operate on several roads from midnight on the intervening night of September 7th and 8th to 11:59 p.m. on the 10th of September. It also stated goods vehicles carrying essential commodities such as milk, vegetables, fruits, medical supplies and others having valid no-entry permissions will be allowed to enter Delhi. According to foreign media, the notification stated the entire area of New Delhi district will be considered as Control Zone 1 from 5 a.m. on the 8th of September to 11:59 p.m. on the 10th of September. Notably, India assumed the G20 presidency on the 1st of December last year, and about 200 meetings related to G20 were organized in 60 cities across the country.
The United Kingdom government is set to designate Wagner, the Russian mercenary group, as a terrorist organization. The first match of the Super Fours round in Asia Cup 2023 will see Pakistan take on Bangladesh at the Gaddafi Cricket Stadium on Wednesday. Both the teams had decent league stage campaigns and will look to carry the momentum in the Super Fours round. Pakistan and Sri Lanka are co-hospitant of the 2023 Asia Cup. The group stage games concluded on Tuesday with Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India and Bangladesh qualifying for the Super 4 round. Afghanistan and Nepal, the other two teams that played in the Asia Cup, did not make the Super 4 round. The first match of the Super 4's round in the Asia Cup 2023 will see Pakistan take on Bangladesh at the Gaddafi Cricket Stadium on Wednesday. Pakistan so far have shown their prowess in both batting and bowling department, with Babar Azam and Iftikhar Ahmed hammering brilliant centuries against Nepal and Shaheen Shah Afridi bagging a fourfer against India. On the other hand, Mehdi Hasan Miraz and Najmul Hussain Santo were standout batters for Bangladesh in the group stage. The duo of Mehdi and Santo scored a brilliant century against Afghanistan, while Taskin Ahmed shined among bowlers and claimed 4 wickets. TV1 is the official local broadcaster of the 2023 Asia Cup. All the matches are being broadcast live on TV1 and on www.sirasatv.lk. A look back at your local news. Party leaders have decided to debate the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill on Wednesday and Thursday evening. Sri Lanka's Supreme Court determined that the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill can be passed in Parliament by a simple majority, and the determination was announced in Parliament on Tuesday.
සුප්‍රීමසාවියේ තීන්දුව සභාවට ඉදිරිපත් කරාම විනාඩි කිහිපයකට පස්සේ අපෙන් විමසලා හිටියා ඒ කාර්ක සභාවට ඊයේම මේ සංශෝධනය ගන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා.
Moments after the Supreme Court determination was announced, we were asked if the amendments can be taken up by the Select Committee. That was not possible as it had been only minutes since you announced the determination. This needs to be discussed at least for a few days and no analysis was done. I wonder how you plan on proceeding with this. We are left in the dark on the matter. Are you planning to leave this out from the Committee on Public Finance and proceed to increase the tax on the EPF from 14% to 30%? How can we analyze this without any data? It is not possible. The Finance Ministry addressed a letter noting that if a committee is seeking information from any official, a request must be addressed to the minister and the minister would decide on it. The executive is trying to take away the power vested with the parliament. Nevertheless, we addressed a letter to the president. We had instructed to provide the details that were required. When the information was made available, it was past 6 in the evening. I took out the documents from this envelope just moments ago. What has the court said? The court says that it is not possible to look into it. So the Supreme Court has sent it back to the Parliament. Parliament means the Committee on Public Finance. How can we discuss this in Parliament in the absence of the data? The president is also here.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට දාලා තියෙනවා. පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට කියන්නේ කමිටුවට. ඒක මුදල් කමිටුවට මේ දත්ත නැත්තම් කොහොමද අපි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ මේක ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා ඉන්නවා.
ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමා.
මම දැක්කේ නෑ. ඉතින් ගරු ජනාධිපති මම දැක්කේ නෑ. මතකද අපේ විපක්ෂ නායකතුමා.
Do you recall the opposition leader making a statement on the economic crisis that was about to happen? Some laughed at him for that. The opposition leader said that if we continued with the Rajapaksa policies, this is what would happen, and it happened. Now you say that if the DDO is not approved with or without the analysis, it would lead to an apocalyptic collapse and Armageddon.
ඔය apocalyptic collapse එකක් කියනවලු ඊළඟට Armageddon of Bloom වෙනවලු.
Public Finance Committee එක rubber stamping body එකක් වෙන්න බෑ.
The Committee on Public Finance should not be merely a rubber stamping body. The Committee on Public Finance must be given reasonable time to analyze the information and to perform necessary checks and balances.
මේ අනාදී දේවල් විශ්ලේෂණය කරන්නට අවස්ථාව දෙන්නට ඕන.
උසාවිය මේ සියල්ල ගැනම විග්‍රහ කළා තීන්දුවක් දීලා ඉවරයි. ඒ කරුණු සියල්ලම ඉදිරිපත් කරා කියන්නේ අනික්
The court has gone through everything and given a decision. The House is now tasked with approving this. Before it is passed, it should be sent to either that committee or the advisory committee that is headed by me. It has not been sent to the advisory committee. The chairperson of the committee has sought for information and the secretary was advised on the matter. The letter that was sent also bears the confidential clause, and if the information is leaked, it would be detrimental to the country. We need to complete all this by next week. If we don't, all of this will collapse, and I state it with responsibility. I took over a country that was in disarray. When others said no to the post of Prime Minister and fled in fear, I took over this task. Please give the opportunity to do so.
බය වෙලා දිව්වද්දි මම මේක අරගෙන මේ වැඩ කටයුත්ත කරේ. කරුණා කළා මට ඒ අවස්ථාව දෙන්න. ඔබතුමා වාඩි ඔබතුමා කියකට මම ඇහුවනේ. කරුණා කළා වාඩි වෙන්න. මම මේක අරගෙන ඉදිරියට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙතන කිසිම හානියක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ අර්ථසාධ අරමුදලට.
I have brought this forward. This will not harm the EPF. We have agreed to award an interest of 9%. I did not decide on the 9% and it was decided by the SLPP government before I was made the Prime Minister. It was decided by the SLPP government. Those who are party to that decision are on that side as well as those who are in this side. Do not put that on me. This needs to be taken forward. As the chairman of the committee represents both sides, the House needs to be consulted on their views. I will not interfere with that. He said that during the polls, the SLPP said that this was not required. However, you promised shoes and sanitary pads. I was the one who said $7 billion was required and that would save the country. You called for power by defeating us. Both sides were against it. However, as I was right, the ruling faction had supported me to take this program forward. You left the UNP of Presidents J.R. Jayawardena, D.B. Wijetunga and Ranasinghe Premadasa. You all said that you all wanted to capture Sirikota. I have told the central bank to provide what is needed. Do not drag this further. Did we not agree that when we went to Washington, I would go inside the World Bank and you would stay out and scream and later we will have dinner together? That is not an issue. If they say that today it is not possible, the Prime Minister can summon the House on Saturday and produce it. I do not need to fight. We need to approve this before Saturday and the Speaker can place his stamp on it on Sunday. That is all I want.
මේ අය කියනවා අද උවමනා නැහැ කියලා. එහෙනම් කරුණා කරලා අගමැතිතුමා සෙනසුරාදා දාලා අපි මේක ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න එච්චරයි තියෙන්නේ. මට මේක ගහ ගන්න වැඩක් නැහැ. මේක සෙනසුරාදාට ඉස්සෙල්ලා සම්මත කරලා කරුණා කරලා කතානායකතුමනි ඉරිදා අත්සන් කරලා දෙන්න අපිට. එච්චරයි මං ඉල්ලන්නේ.
ලංකාවත් දැන් වාර්තාවක් පිහිටවලා තියෙන්නේ.
Sri Lanka has set a new record to remove the primary dealers, private bondholders and the banking system to restructure the domestic debt and place that burden on 2.4 million working people. We will prove during the debate whether or not a reasonable interest is awarded to the EPF beneficiaries via the domestic debt restructuring process. This is an attempt to pickpocket the EPF. We do not engage in deals and pickpocket politics. Because we cannot engage in pickpocket, we did not enter into any deals. Since the deals were sealed, now they say that they took over the responsibility. They did so to loot from the people. We are against this proposal and we will vote against it. However, do not say that we are the obstruction. If the information was made available on time to the Committee on Public Finance, it could have been analysed by the chairman of the committee.
ජනතාවගේ බඩට ගහන්න. මේ රටේ ජනතාවගේ EPS එකට පික්පොකට් ගහන්න. මේ යෝජනාවට කොහොමදත් අපි විරුද්ධයි. අපි විරුද්ධව ඡන්දය දෙනවා. ඒක වෙනම කතාවක්. නමුත් කියන්න එපා අපි මේ බාධා කරනවායි කියලා. Tamanට තොරතුරු සපයන්නට ඇති වුණු ප්‍රමාදෝෂය තුල මුදල් කමිටුවට හරියට වෙලාවට ඉල්ලපු වෙලාවට තොරතුරු ටික එවුවනම් අපිට පුළුවන් සභාපතිතුමාට ඒක විශ්ලේෂණය කරන්න.
අපිට අවශ්‍ය නැහැ මේ වෙළඳ පොළ sensitive information.
We do not want market sensitive information. How did the information leak? How did some purchase stocks ahead of the announcing of the DDO?
මේ DDO එක announce කරන්න කලින්
වාර්තාව වෙනකන් අපි විවාදය ආරම්භ කරු බැහැන්දාවට.
ජනතාව පොඩකින්ද? ජනතාව පොඩකින්ද? නැගිටලා යනවනේ.
විවාදය ආරම්භ කරපු හැන්දාවට
ඔව්. ජනතාව
මේ කමිටුව අතර ඇස් වෙලා හිට
හැබැයි මේ ජනතාව මේ ඉන්ඩේ කියද්දි නැගිටලා ගියා. මම එක
The president left. I must note that the president read out the Supreme Court determination. When this matter was taken up in court, a ruling party member said that the court taking up the matter was a privileged issue. You as a speaker said that it is only parliament that can decide on domestic debt restructuring. I wish to note that your statement impacted the court decision directly and indirectly.
තීරණ ගැනීම privilege issue එකක් කියලා ප්‍රකාශ කරනකොට ඔබතුමා ඔය මූලාසනයේ ඉඳගෙන තීන්දුවක් ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කරා domestic debt restructuring පිළිබඳව තීන්දුව තීරණ ගැනීමේ බලය තියෙන්නේ මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවටයි කියන කාරණාව. ඉතින් මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ කියනවා ඔබතුමාගේ ප්‍රකාශය ඍජුව සහ වක්‍රව අධිකරණයේ තීන්දුවට බලපෑමක් සිදු වුණයි කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා.
That I don't believe. That I don't believe because my
අනිත් එක අපිට මේ කරුණු
statement has
කාරණා
nothing to do
ඉදිරිපත්
with that.
කරනකොට
Nothing to do with any
ජනාධිපතිතුමා
court.
නැගිටලා යන්න හොඳ නෑනේ.
Yes.
එහෙම බය වෙන්න හොඳ නෑ. මම එතුමාට නිග්‍රහ කරන්න යන්නේ නෑ. අපිට තර්ක විතර්ක කරලා හොඳ ප්‍රබුද්ධ තීන්දුව තීරණ වලට එන්න පුළුවන්.
A debate broke out in Parliament over the Easter Sunday terror attacks.
පාස්කු ප්‍රහාරයෙන් විපතටපත් වුණු ජනතාවට
Is the government that came to power promising justice for the victims of the Easter Sunday attacks a part of the attacks? We need to know the truth. All the investigations were concealed. They have forgotten that they slandered the Muslim community using racism when it came to the Easter attacks. You came to positions you hold now based on that. Is the mastermind of the Easter attacks in government? What is the truth? When His Eminence the Cardinal speaks about the East attacks, he is slandered. I heard that the government is to appoint a select committee. We wonder if the mastermind of the Easter attacks will be appointed as the chairman of the select committee. The rulers who came using the blood of the victims have failed to reveal the truth. This can only be solved by a transparent effort with both local and international intervention and international investigations. We need to know if the masterminds are in this government.
විනිවිද භාවයෙන් යුක්ත වූ ජාත්‍යන්තර පරීක්ෂණයක් අවශ්‍යයි. සත්‍ය අවබෝධ කරගන්නට. අපිට දැනගන්න ඕන මේ මහ මොලකරුවන් මේ ආණ්ඩුවේ ඉන්නවද නැද්ද කියන කාරණාව.
ගරු මහින්දානන්ද අපේ ඇමතුමා හිටපු ඇමතුමා කිව්වා අර
Former Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage commented on the finances of Azad Maulana mentioned in the Channel 4 video. This Azad Maulana is the former finance controller of former Minister Pillan. So this needs to be directed to the Financial Crimes Investigation Division for an inquiry.
කටයුතු කරපු නිලධාරියා. ඒතර අසාඩ් මෞලානාගේ මුදල් විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් සංසරණය වෙලා තියෙනවා නම් වහාම මූල්‍ය අපරාධ කොට්ටාසෙ පැමිණි කරලා මේ සම්බන්ධව ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න ඕන. මොකද එතුමාගේ මුදල් ලේකම්වරයා. ඒක අපිට කියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ.
That's a wrap of news. Take care and good day.